Alright, I think so. This was pretty lame, okay, the series, because they could have easily, and by easily I mean easily, shown us the backstory in first episode about how everybody got, his whole class got isekai into this world. They could have shown us in the first episode, just putting it out there. Like, the reason why the main character even said that he wants to go home, it all makes sense now, because it's just like, okay, he wants to go home because he's in another world other than his own world, which would make sense, it's since it is an isekai. Arifureta is an isekai after all, so it would make sense that he said, like in the first episode, if you guys go back ahead and check it, he said, I want to go home, which means he came from another world. Which means, I mean, could have also meant that he really wanted to go to this place, whatever his home is, but his home is basically in an isekai thing, like in an isekai themed anime. This would be a perfect thing. So this was pretty lame in my opinion. They just threw this shit in your face. You're like, you know what? Backstory time. And the reason why I am more upset about this is because they took off the screen time that I was enjoying from the main character just to show us a backstory. A freaking backstory. You could have just done it. Just had the main character do their shit there. They could have easily done it, and they could have moved forward and do whatever was after that. But no, you had to show me the backstory first. You know what? And I don't even know what to say at this point, because I was enjoying the episode. Let's see. I was enjoying the episode. I was enjoying this episode up until the point where the main character was eating everybody and all of that stuff. He got to this point, and about this point, I wouldn't say he got to this point because the backstory was shown first and then this came up, but he got about to this point, and then they're like, you know what? Let's move on to other characters where the main character is actually getting, like, I'm enjoying the series, and let's show them how upset they are, even though there is no character development for those characters. Like, there is literally no character development for those characters up until this point, because there's like zero development. So how am I supposed to know why the hell does this chick feel for Nagumo, who is right now fighting these guys, and why would I even care about her? Like, legit, I'm questioning that, because it's like, okay, I was expecting some good shit from Arifureta, since it's been such a hyped isekai for the season. I was expecting some good shit, but instead, what I'm getting is some lame shit right now. Like, I'm not saying the main character is lame. The main character in this episode, actually portrayed him much, much better than the first episode. I mean, I enjoyed him in the first episode, not gonna lie. Up until, like, the first half, I did not enjoy it. It was just your whiny, normal main character. But then he got into the form. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go into this rage form and shit. And I actually enjoyed that character. I enjoyed this character for the main character for this episode. Like, really, really do. But up until that, okay, all of this shit I enjoyed about the main character, because he's got that kind of development going on for him right now, and I'm enjoying this development that the character has been given. But let me just put this in a way. You're gonna push me to this shit, okay? Let me show you this shit. Sorry about that. But you're gonna push me to this shit and ask me to go here and feel for these characters or feeling for Nagamo, and not even explain why they feeling for Nagamo for the very reason. Like, I don't even know why how they're feeling for Nagamo. The other chick was like, I want to protect her, okay? This chick on the screen right now is like, I don't have any business with him. Like, legit, it feels like she doesn't have any business with him. She's just doing it because a friend is in trouble or some shit. And I don't understand why her friend would protect him, because they haven't shown that kind of development. So you expect me to feel for these characters and be like, oh, it's so much emotional. that they're feeling for their lost friend or some shit. And because the first episode did not show anything about them. Okay, the only thing that the first episode even showed about these characters, it's not even the sword chick. It's the magic chick, and she's like, "Yo, I want to protect you," and that's it. That's the end of it. That's the gist of it. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing more. That's all they showed to us. I love this. I love how when isekai does some stupid shit and I get to rant about it, cause it's just like, okay, you got an isekai, but you know what? You can rant about it. It's an isekai, but you can rant about it because it's an isekai. That's just basically how it is. And I wouldn't, I would say anything like development of a character is really important for me. I've made this point in many anime that I talk about, because if you just don't have this character development for certain characters, you just don't have a feeling for it. And a lot of people, to be honest, said that the first episode did not really live up to their expectations from the light novel reader perspective. And the series is also being done by the same people who did Steins Gate, which is an amazing anime. I've not watched Steins Gate Zero, just to be pointing that out. I watched Steins Gate, not Steins Gate Zero. And I haven't even completed Steins Gate because I don't remember why I never completed Steins Gate. But I remember it being a really good show. I just wasn't a big fan of the animation, the dark and gritty animation that they put in. That's the reason why I was like, the animation was like, but the story was amazing, I would say, about Steins Gate. And it's being made by the same studio that made Steins Gate. So I was expecting some dark gritty animations here and there, but actually the animation looks pretty damn good. Not gonna lie. Another thing I want to point out about this episode is this. Now, for anybody who gets the reference, these guys reminded me of Agni and Rudra. If anybody remembers what I'm talking about. And if anybody who doesn't remember what I'm talking about, it's I'm talking about Devilman Crybaby. I was going to say Devilman Crybaby for whatever reason. I was talking about Devilman Cry 3, where you remember, okay, gamers, for anybody who doesn't play games, this will be like, what the hell is you even talking about? But for anybody who plays games, these two remind me of Agni and Rudra, the way they emerged from the wall and everything. Because if you remember Agni and Rudra from Devil May Cry 3, they both were kind of similar, and they both were stuck on the wall, and they come out of the wall with their swords and shit. These people didn't have swords, okay? But the reason why I compared them to the Agni and Rudra was just because that reminded me so much of Devil May Cry 3, and the way they just popped up, because they had similar colors too, blue and red, and they popped out of nowhere. So it was pretty cool, alright. I was reminded of one of my favorite games of all time, so to be honest, that was pretty cool, alright. Other than that, I want to talk about this. We have a legal lolly, by the way. Just gotta point that out. So, just gotta point that out. We have a legal lolly. We have to protect her because she's a lolly, you know, and she's a vampire lolly at that. So she's almost reminding me of Shinobu from Monogatari, you know, a vampire lolly. So we gotta protect him, you know. Only difference is she doesn't have big titties. That's all, you know. Anyways, wouldn't you be too overpowered? Then again, this is an isekai. The main characters need to be overpowered, you know. If it's not an overpowered main character, it isn't an isekai, you know. Unless you're watching ReZero, you're watching Shield Hero. That's it. Those are the only two. Those are the only two isekai where I remember the characters are not overpowered. Konosuba is an exception because that shit is too godly, and I can't even say that the main character is not overpowered because the main character is so overpowered that he can steal panties. There you go. Yeah, like wouldn't these two are just too open? Like, just eat this chick. She'll just heal again, and you'll get that power too. You know, brain. But I don't think so that's gonna happen because I don't think so that brain is gonna be used here. Eat this chick so that you can become overpowered. Okay. Jesus Christ. Imagine if they actually do that in the next episode where he just eats the chick just to become overpowered as shit and become immortal. Like, yeah. I also like the whole interaction between him and Yui. How Nagumo just is like, he sees her and he's like, uh, yeah, all right, let's go back. I don't want to take on this chick. And then the chick is like, help me. I'm like, nah, fam. I'm good, fam. I see you. You are trouble to me. I'm gonna get out. And like, wow, you gonna ignore a chick in trouble? You really gonna do that? Like, I love this character. I love the main character, to be honest. I'll be honest here. The main character for once doesn't feel to be so dense about everything. And I like that. I like that he's not a one-dimensional character like a lot of isekai characters, because a lot of isekai characters tend to be just one-dimensional, which makes me go like, freaking hell, why? Like, you just do one thing over and over again. But I like he's not. He doesn't feel like for the first few like minutes he does feel like a dense character, like when he out to the first episode. But starting this episode, he becomes more and more away. He starts to develop and stuff in this episode, which I really and that's why I say, because they were going good with this guy's development in this episode, and all of a sudden you have to skip it to a pass, which I don't want to see right now. You could have shown this to me in episode 1, and then shown this, okay, they have transferred to another world. The first few minutes would have been that. Transfer to another world, and then go forward after the first few minutes, and then have this whole situation turn out, and pretty much carry out the story to this point. So that's the reason why I say it was kind of like annoying me, because they did not put that early on. Because why would I wait until episode 2 just to see the backstory about how they got there? Honestly, why would I? That's like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a good story, but you know what? We gotta show you the backstory later on, because you know what? I don't care about the backstory right now. That's basically what I felt like. And right now, even if they showed it later on, they had to show it later on, like real later on, about how they did it. Because the second episode, they just threw it in the middle of some good shit happening, which I hate. Good shit happens. This is what I hated about Bleach. It kind of reminds me of Bleach fillers, okay, honestly, because Bleach fillers weren't bad, okay. But you know what? You gotta throw it in the middle of anything and everything, just because you know what? We gotta give you this filler, because shit. Ichigo with his eyes, it is gonna happen, but you're not gonna see that for another 40 odd episodes, because why not? Why? Fillers. That's basically it. Yeah, it felt like that. It literally felt like that when I watched it. Like, the main character is going through the dungeon and shit, and then you throw it in the middle, the backstory in the middle. And it feels like, why? I'm watching the main character. Let me watch the main character do some badass shit, because he's been doing that from the start of the moment of this episode. Well, no. Anyways, let me know what you think about this episode of Arifureta. Yeah, I did some ranting on it. I know. But I personally thought the episode wasn't bad all over. It was decent. I wouldn't say it was bad. It was decent, though. I wouldn't say it was good, too. It was decent. And I personally like the main character. I might continue watching it after 3 episodes, maybe. Depending on how the main character turns out. Anyways, let me know what you think about it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace.